Elias slammed the field patch across the final atmospheric breach. Sparks danced from the edges as the seal locked, humming to life. He wiped sweat from his brow and yanked the power conduit from his harness. One twist rerouted the surge straight to the life domes below. Lights flickered on across the shattered cityscape. First one dome, then a dozen. Air hissed back into the voids. He exhaled. The Empire's last bastion breathed again. Footsteps clanged on the skiff's deck. Elias spun, hand dropping to his toolkit. Armored figures flooded the ramp. Imperial guards, plasma lances leveled at his chest. "Halt, human!" the lead barked, crest feathers flaring. Elias raised empty palms. No point arguing with lances. A new voice cut through, sharp as a blade. "Stand down, all of you." The guards parted. Empress Sarava Keth strode aboard, her iridescent scales catching the dome lights. Taller than Elias by a head, she moved with the coiled grace of a predator assessing prey, her golden eyes fixed on him, unblinking. No crown, no robes, just form-fitting armor etched with the Empire spiral sigil. Elias lowered his hands slowly. "Empress, breach is sealed. Dome's stable for 20 hours. Evac shuttles need to spool now." She waved off her guards. They retreated to the ramp, lances dipping but eyes hard. Sarava stepped closer, her scent like ozone after a storm. "You saved Kithara, our final city. 10 million souls draw breath because of Elias Ward." He shrugged, coiling his conduit. "Just engineering. Your hull alloys held longer than specs predicted. Good work by your smiths." Her lips curved. A rare alien smile, all teeth and intent. "Modesty suits you, but it changes nothing. The Empire owes a debt." She tapped a gauntlet panel. A holographic contract bloomed between them. Lines of glowing script scrolling fast. "Marriage. You and I. It binds our worlds. Secures the alliance. Repayment in full." Elias froze. The holo pulsed, demanding a neural scan for acceptance. "Marriage. Empress, I'm a disaster tech, not a lord. Send me back to the salvage yards." Her gaze sharpened. "Titles mean nothing. Loyalty does. You fixed what our fleets could not. Humanity's ingenuity joins the throne. Refuse, and the court fractures us before we rebuild." He scanned the contract. Clauses locked resources. Fleets his own chain of command. Partnership, sure. But on her terms. "No. I want evac authority. Full control for survivors. Get them off-world before the next solar flare hits." Guards shifted. One hissed low. Sarava's feathers rustled along her neck. She studied him, second stretching. Then she nodded once. "Granted. But the marriage stands. Public ceremony at dawn. The court witnesses." Elias blinked. "Dawn? They'll riot. They will obey." She dismissed the holo with a flick. "Or lose everything." Alarms blared from the console. Elias cursed and patched in. "Shuttle bays clear. Load priority. Medics first." Sarava leaned over his shoulder, her warmth brushing his arm. "Efficient. As expected." He ignored the spark, focusing on manifests. 10 million. Half children. His skiff scanners pinged. Hostiles inbound? No. Debris. But her proximity tugged at him. Competence he understood. This, politics, wrapped in silk. Hours blurred. Elias directed the exodus, skiff darting between domes. Sarava stayed aboard, issuing overrides to skeptical captains. "Human protocols," she'd snap. "Follow them." By midnight, the first waves lifted off. Elias slumped in the pilot seat, tallying 80% evacuated. His eyes burned. Sarava handed him a nutrient vial. "Rest. Ceremony awaits." He took it, their fingers brushing. Her skin hummed faintly. "Bioelectric? Why push this? Alliances don't need weddings." She sat across, legs folding precisely. "They do here. Trust is forged in blood or bonds. You earned the latter." Her voice softened a fraction. "I watched your feeds. One human against the void. My admirals failed. You did not." Elias sipped the vial. Tart. Energizing. "Team effort. Your engineers prepped the patches. Lies comfort the weak." She leaned in. "Accept, Elias. Partner with me, not as servant. As equal." Footfalls echoed. Chancellor Vera Soren boarded, robe swirling. Her multifaceted eyes gleamed under the lights. Empress. The court's in uproar. Lady Nim rallies the traditionalists. A human consort? It spits on our bloodlines. Sarava didn't turn. Then let them spit. Elias saved us. He leads the final evac. Vera's gaze slid to Elias, probing. Bold. But can he navigate our ways, or does he fracture them? Elias met her stare. I navigate hulls, Chancellor. Politics? That's your lane. She chuckled, dry as dust. Humble. Useful. To Sarava. Admiral Corin screens him now. If clear, proceed. But Nim's spies watch. Sarava rose. Let them. Dawn comes. Vera departed. Elias rubbed his neck. Friends in high places? Allies test first. Sarava's hand grazed his shoulder, firm, assessing. Corin trusts actions. Like I do. A ping. Admiral Corintal's face filled the console. Scarred jowls, eyes like targeting arrays. Human. Your patches held. Fleet owes you. But marriage, prove no threat. Elias keyed in. Scan my skiff. Clean. Now spool those shuttles. Corin grunted. Done. Ceremony? Survive the court. Nim's venom runs deep. Link cut. Elias glanced at Sarava. Sounds fun. Her laugh barked. Genuine. It will be. With you. Dawn broke through the thinning atmosphere. Elias stood on the grand dais in the central dome. The vacuum fading below. Thousands packed the tiers. Nobles in scale polished finery. Survivors clutching belongings. Guards ringed the platform, lances humming. Lady Nemavar stepped forward, her entourage fanning out. Crest high, voice amplified. Empress. Tradition demands purity. This off-worlder brings no lineage. He weakens us. Murmurs swelled. Sarava ascended the dais, pulling Elias with her. Her grip anchored him. He brings survival. Cathara stands because of him. The contract seals it. Nim sneered. A human? His seed poisons the throne. Elias tensed. Sarava's feathers bristled. Chancellor Vera flanked them, holopad ready. Admiral Corin loomed at the edge, hand on his blade. Sarava raised her voice. Witness. Elias Ward demands nothing but our lives. He rerouted power when stars failed us. Marriage binds humanity's strength to ours, object, and object to your own breath. Silence crashed. Nim's eyes darted, calculating. Then she bowed, stiff. As you decree. The crowd knelt. Sarava turned to Elias, neural scanner glowing between them. Accept. Partner. His heart hammered. Not power. Partnership. He pressed his temple to the pad. Affirmative chime rang. Hollow bloomed empire-wide. Union sealed. But as cheers erupted, Nim slipped away into the shadows. Elias caught her glance. Cold promise. Sarava leaned close, breath warm on his ear. They test us now. Together? He nodded, hand finding hers. Together, alarms wailed from the evac feeds. Final shuttle overdue. Sabotage? Corin barked into comms. Intruders in Bay 7, Nim's move. Elias grabbed his toolkit, time to prove it again. Elias slammed his toolkit onto the shuttle bay deck. Sparks flew from severed conduits overhead. Two cloaked figures twisted toward him. Energy blades humming. Admiral Corin charged left, blade drawn. Flank them. Elias dodged a swipe, his multi-tool whirred to life. He jammed it into the nearest saboteur's cloak generator. The field collapsed. Fabric shredded. The alien stumbled. Exposed. Nim's insignia gleamed on his chest plate. Corin disarmed the second with a precise thrust. Secure. Elias bound the intruder's wrists with conduit wire. Shuttle's core is rigged. 30 seconds to overload. Corin nodded. Fix it. Elias pried open the panel. Fingers danced over fried circuits. He rerouted power through auxiliary vents. Gouges stabilized. Alarms silenced. The Admiral clapped his shoulder. Again. Human tricks. Save us. Shuttle doors hissed open. Evac crew piled in. Safe. Elias exhaled. Sarava's voice crackled over comms. Elias? Report. Clear. Intruders down. Nimes people. Silence. Then. Court. Now. They demand proof. Elias followed Corin through gleaming halls. Imperial guards flanked them. Whispers rippled from nobles clustered at archways. Feathers rustled. Eyes narrowed on the human consort. The grand court chamber loomed. Crystal spires amplified every sound. Empress Sarava stood central on the dais, flanked by Chancellor Vera. Lady Nim lurked at the edge, her retinue coiled like vipers. Elias strode forward, no hesitation. He dropped his toolkit and raised arms. Scan me. Guards activated neural probes. Beams swept his body, mind. Invasive pulses probed memories, loyalties. Elias stood still. Let them see. No plots, no poisons. Just systems, fixes, survival. Probes chimed green. Crowd murmured. Nime's beak clicked. Convenient. Sarava's gaze locked on Elias. Pride flickered in her golden eyes. She extended a talon. He took it. Partnership. Chancellor Vera stepped forward. Holopad glowing. Consort ward. Marriage seals intent. But alliance demands verification. Audit the Empire's supply chains. All convoys, ledgers, projections. Due at dawn. Ceremony stalls until complete. Elias scanned the pad. Petabytes of data. Fractured networks. 10,000 routes. Impossible for one. Vera's eyes gleamed. Test or trap. Done, Elias said. Nobles hissed. Corin grunted approval. Sarava squeezed his hand. Rest. Eat. He didn't. Elias claimed a alcove terminal. Interfaces hummed under his fingers. He mapped flows. Grain from agri-domes to fleet outposts. Fuel cells across nebula lanes. Patterns emerged. Hours blurred. Coffee analogs burned his throat. Anomalies pinged. Convoy 47. Falsified manifests. Overreported yields hid black market diversions. Convoy 112. Ghost shipments to fringe lords. Convoy 309. Empress's own reserves siphoned. Dawn broke artificial. Elias uploaded the report. HoloNets lit empire-wide. 3 ledgers falsified. Losses, 18% efficiency. Culprits flagged. Court reconvened. Vera's feathers paled as she reviewed. How? Auditors take cycles. Systems thinking, Elias said. Follow the numbers. Sarava beamed. Alliance strengthens. Lady Niam surged forward. Lies. Human fabricates to seize control. Verify his vaunted dome fix. Public trial. Now. Murmurs swelled. Sarava tensed. Elias met her eyes. Nodded. Agreed. Trial dome activated in court center. Scaled down life dome replica shimmered. Power fluctuations simulated the crisis. Failing stars. Collapsing fields. Nim smirked. Reproduce. Or fraud exposed. Elias circled the model. Technicians hovered. Wary. He waved 2 forward. You from the first fix. Remember the bypass? They blinked. Feathers perked. Yes, consort. But. Show them. He handed tools. Guided. Link the tertiary grid here. Prevent access to shields. Their talons flew. Dome stabilized. Fields hummed steady. Crowd gasped. Elias stepped back. Their work. I just pointed. Technicians bowed. He taught us. Saved Cathara. Corin barked a laugh. Results. Human delivers. Nim's eyes narrowed. Trickery. He claims no credit? Credit where earned, Elias said. Partnership. Sarava pulled him close. Her warmth pressed against him. You prove. Again. Vera interjected. Audit exposes traitors, but Nim's faction blocks full ratification. Demand blood oath. Nim nodded. Human blood dilutes throne. Divorce him. Sarava's grip tightened. No. Elias felt her pulse race. Court intrigue coiled tighter. He scanned faces. Corin shifted, hand near blade. Vera calculated. Nim plotted. Test me further, Elias said. But alliance first, supplies rerouted. Fleets fueled, lives secured. A page burst in. Chancellor. Fringe lords revolt. Ledgers match. Nim's allies. Gasps echoed. Nim recoiled. Guards seized her aids. Asarava turned to Elias, voice low. You saw it coming. Patterns. Soft. Trusting. Together. Karin activated restraints on Nim. Trial for her now. But Nim twisted free. Hollow dagger flashed. She lunged at Sarava. For purity. Elias shoved Sarava aside, took the slash across his arm. Blood welled. He countered. Multi-tool sparked into her wrist node. She crumpled, paralyzed. Guards swarmed. Court knelt. Sarava knelt by him. Talons staunched the wound. Foolish, brave, partner, he whispered. Her beak brushed his temple. Neuralink pulsed. Affirmation. Warmth. Flooded. Not power. Mutual. Medic sealed the cut. Veyra bowed. Audit ratified. Alliance full. Corin hauled Nim away. Human fights like us. Better. Cheers erupted. Sarava rose. Elias at her side. Hollow bloomed. Empire united. Human strength woven in. But as they exited, a whisper reached Elias. Veyra's aide slipped a data chip into his palm. More falsified. Deeper. Chancellor's vaults. Elias pocketed it. Sarava glanced. Trouble? He nodded. Next pattern. Her hand found his. We map it, together. Fleet sirens wailed distant. New threat inbound. Elias gripped his toolkit. Ready. A rifle clicked under the swelling strings of the banquet orchestra. Elias yanked Empress Sarava behind the nearest pillar. His hand clamped her armored shoulder. Crystal chandeliers tinkled overhead as guests froze mid-conversation. Air pressure shifted. A sniper scope venting gas, faint but unmistakable to his engineer's ear. He scanned the balcony railings. Shadow flickered there. Down! Admiral Corin Tal bellowed. The fleet commander surged forward, slamming lockdown codes into his wrist gauntlet. Bulkhead doors hissed shut, sealing the grand hall. Guards fanned out, talons drawn. Elias snatched 2 silver serving plates from a passing drone. He hurled the first at a balcony post. It clanged, marking the shooter's sightline. The second arced higher, pinging off a beam. Vectors confirmed. Elevated perch. Northwest corner. Sarava's feathers bristled against his arm. Elias, stay. He bolted, weaved through petrified nobles, dodged a toppled chair. The assassin cycled for a second shot. Muzzle flash winked. Elias launched, tackled the figure mid-aim. They crashed into the balcony netting. He pinned the assassin's cloaked arm, wrenched the rifle free. Fingers danced over the stock. Eject magazine, strip power cell, pop breach. Components scattered across the floor, tagged in his mind for chain of custody. The assassin thrashed. Elias drove a knee into their midsection. Multitool sparked against the wrist node. Paralysis field hummed. The figure slumped. Guards swarmed. Corin landed beside him, scanning the rifle parts. Clean disarm. Imperial issue. How? Patterns? Elias stood, breath steady. Blood from his earlier slash throbbed, but adrenaline held it at bay. He pointed to the plates below. Shooter angles marked. Recover them. Sarava swept onto the balcony, flanked by Veyra and her honor guard, her golden eyes locked on Elias. Report. Single operative. Sniper round missed. Grazed the pillar. He held up the disassembled weapon. Neural lock bypassed. Firing log intact. Traces to Armory Vault 7. Court murmurs swelled below. Lady Nem's faction remnants shifted uneasily, though her chains still cooled in the detention hold. Sarava's talon grazed his bandaged arm. You moved first. Again, she turned to the assembly. Projection orbs activated, beaming her image across the hall. Elias Ward remains at my side. Provisional protector status. Granted, by my decree. Cheers mixed with hisses. Veyra's aides exchanged glances. Corin nodded once, respect hardening his scarred beak. Not enough. Elias stepped forward. Sarava's gaze sharpened, but he pressed. Open investigation. Now. Project the evidence chain. Real time. Her feathers smoothed. Bold. Proceed. He activated his toolkit hollow, linked the rifle components. Drones whirred, scanning each piece as guards bagged them. Feeds streamed live. Serial numbers traced to Chancellor Veyra's Oversight Committee. Forged requisition stamps glowed red, cross-referenced with the data chip burning in his pocket. Deeper vaults implicated. Gasps rippled. Veyra stiffened on the dais. Fabrication. Those stamps match your audit logs. Elias overlaid the hollow. Timestamps synced. Fringe revolt funds funneled here. Nime's allies bought silence. Your vaults hid the rest. Corin growled. Chancellor, explain. Vera's voice sliced calm. Circumstantial. The human twists data. Sarava silenced her with a raised talon. Ward proves loyalty. Again. Alliance demands truth. She signaled. Guards escorted Vera to a side chamber. Interrogation. Full audit. The court knelt as one. Elias felt Sarava's hand on his back. Firm, warm through his tunic. Neuralink pulsed. Gratitude, laced with strategy. Banquet drones resumed service, but tension lingered. Nobles clustered, whispering of the marriage proposal she'd floated earlier. Union to bind the human savior to the throne. Fracture lines appeared. Purists recoiled. Pragmatists leaned in. Corin clapped Elias's shoulder. You fight clean. No waste. Fleet needs that. His eyes flicked to Sarava. She chose well. Elias nodded. Partnership, not conquest. Sarava drew him aside, into a alcove shielded by force drapes. Music swelled again, masking their words. Marriage cements this. Empire fractures without it. You saved us. Now lead with me. He met her gaze. Feathers framed her regal face, eyes like polished citrons. Power play or trust? Both. Her beak brushed his jaw. Intimate. Avian. You see patterns I miss. I command what you build, together. Neural link warmed, not command. Invitation. His hand found hers, scales rough against skin. Competence bridged them. His fixes, her fleets. Romance bloomed in the quiet. Protective glances. Shared risks. But Vira's aid lingered at the hall's edge, slipped a second chip toward a purist lord. Deeper game. Elias pocketed the first chip's data. Chancellor's not done. Vaults hold more. Sarava's grip tightened. We raid them. Dawn. Fleet sirens wailed closer outside. Incoming threat. Rebel remnants. Or worse. He checked his toolkit. Ready. Her wing curled around him. Partner. Court eyes watched. Alliance teetered. One wrong move, and trust shattered. A purist noble approached, chalice extended. To the protector. Venom in the toast. Elias raised his glass. Drained it. Tracked the noble's retreating form. Micro-drone tailing Vera's faction. Sarava leaned close. Marriage ceremony tomorrow. Accept, not for power. He traced her talon. For us. She pulsed affirmation. Warmth flooded the link. But as drones cleared plates, a hollow alert pinged his wrist. Vault breach detected. Vera's doing. Elias stood. Now, Corin materialized. With you, they moved as one. Empire's fate hung on the next pattern. Chancellor Sorn slid the treaty draft across the Obsidian Council table. Sign here, Protector Ward. Earth pledges its engineers exclusively to our fleets. Eternal Alliance. Elias scanned the hollow projection. Fine print glowed. Earth barred from aiding any rival power. No opt-outs. He hefted the pen. Solid crystal, imperial seal. Thumb pressure revealed the catch. Blade snapped out, needle thin, laced with paralytic venom. Sorn's eyes flickered. Hidden well. Elias deactivated it with a toolkit magnet. Set it down. But sloppy. My blood scans toxins now. Council gasped. Sarava's talon tapped her throne arm. Approval pulsed through their neural link. Admiral Corin loomed behind Elias, hand on pistol. Sorn recovered, feathers unruffled. A ceremonial flourish. Tradition tests resolve. Test failed. Elias pushed the draft back. This binds Earth like a thrall. We propose mutual aid, shared tech, joint ops, veto rights both ways, transparent limits. No empires, just partners. Murmurs rippled. Lady Nimavar leaned forward, her iridescent plumage flaring. Humans dictate terms, after one crisis fix? After saving your core worlds? Elias tapped his wrist pad. Data streamed, yield curves from his disaster patches, Empire's survival metrics up 47%. Competence earns voice. Sign this, or watch rebels hit your undefended flanks. Sarava nodded once. Elias speaks for the pact we need. Vote. Sorn's beak clicked. The draft stands. Exclusive loyalty. A council comm pinged. Hollow screens lit empire-wide. Forged message. Elias's voice print. Earth claims the throne. Sarava yields to human overlord. Gasps turned to shouts. Nim's eyes gleamed triumph. Traitor exposed. Elias's pulse stayed even. Neuralink warmed. Sarava's calm query. Proof. Already pulling. He synced his pad to palace nets. Ship logs from the vault raid scrolled. Timestamps matched the leak's origin. Com hashes traced back. Internal relay. Palace sublevel. Not his shuttle. ID's terminal. They were Soren's underling. Lord Terran. Corin growled. Got you. Elias projected the chain. Leak born here. Forged on Imperial servers. My voice? Spliced from welcome briefings. Pashes don't lie. Lies. Human tricks. Sarava's voice cut like plasma. Guards. Imperial enforcers materialized. Seized Terran from the aides bench. He squawked. Data chips spilling. Council froze. Soren's wings twitched. Contained fury. Sarava rose. Crown feathers erect. Lord Terran, you forged sedition. Confess or neural scan in open session. Terran crumpled. Lady Nim ordered it. Frame the alien. Block the marriage. Nim bolted for the exit. Corin tackled her mid-stride. Cuffs snapping. Purist game's end. Sarava faced the council, eyes blazing. Oppose me now. Arrest Nim's faction. Or watch your empire fracture. Silence. Soren bowed first. Her Majesty commands. Elias exhaled. Link pulsed relief. Sarava's touch ghosted his shoulder. Well played. But as guards dragged Nim away, her hiss carried. Marriage won't save you. Real threats circle. Council dispersed under Sarava's glare. Corin clapped Elias's back. Clean work. Logs sealed it. Patterns. Elias pocketed his pad. Yours caught her running. Sarava drew him aside, wings shielding them from lingering eyes. Treaty rewrite starts dawn. Your charter. He met her gaze, scales to skin. Us. Her beak grazed his ear. Avian promise. Dawn seals both. Neural warmth flooded. Trust solidified, not forced, but Corin lingered, scanning perimeter holofeeds. Fleet pings inbound, not rebels. Unknown signature. Elias checked feeds. Vectors tight. 3 cloaked cruisers hailing silent. Earth make? No, deeper. Sarava's talon gripped his, together. He nodded, toolkit humming. Patterns shifted again. Soren watched from shadows, aide whispering. 1 chip passed. Fresh data. Elias caught the glint. Link alerted Sarava. More game. Council vault sealed behind them. Dawn approached. Trust held, but knives hid in every ink. Sarava led him to private chambers, doors hissing shut. Rest. Ceremony waits. He traced her wing joint, tension easing. No traps? None pass me. She pulled him down, feathers enveloping, protective curl, not possession. Romance in the quiet. Her pulse sinking his, shared risks forged deeper. Neuralink hummed strategies, treaty clauses, fleet drills. Competence intertwined, but wrist alert buzzed. Incoming hail decrypted. Earth central to Elias Ward. Rebel alliance confirmed. Incoming with Nim's backing. He sat up. Sarava's eyes snapped open. How many? Full battle group. Elias plotted vectors. We counter. Corin burst in, pistol drawn. Scouts confirm. They demand your head, or the Empress's. Sarava stood. Armor deploying from walls, both mine. Elias grabbed toolkit. Mutual aid starts now. Jam their cloaks. My frex. Corin grinned. Fangs bared. Human edge. Let's bleed them. They moved. Palace shook. First volleys breached Atmo. Sarava's command deck thrummed. Elias patched fire control, yield spiking 30%. Target weak vents. My scans. Aliens marveled. Corin's gunners hit perfect. Impossible precision. Practice. Elias modest, focused. Sarava's fleets danced his patterns, her strategy amplifying. Rebels buckled. 1 cruiser cracked venting crew. But lead ship hailed. Nim's voice freed somehow. Yield the human, Empress, or we glass the palace. Sarava snarled. Fire. Elias countered. Wait, board it. Logs prove her treason fleet-wide. Corin led breach teams. Elias rode shotgun, toolkit breaching locks. Nim cornered, backed by Soren's shadow agents. You ruin us. Save. Elias disarmed her guards, non-lethal. Competence, not kill. Corin cuffed her. Done. Back on deck, Sarava embraced him. Public now. Partner proven.
Council reconvened via holo. Soren signed the charter, beak tight.
Mutual. Transparent. Elias added clause. Marriage optional, loyalty personal. Sarava's eyes softened. Accepted. Link sealed it. Warmth. Invitation. No power grab. Partnership. But as cheers rose, Elias's pad pinged private. Earth intel. Deeper faction. Soren's kin leads off-world purists. Knife in the ink lingered. Trust built. But Empire's shadows deepened. Sarava sensed it. We face next pattern. Together. He squeezed her talon. Ready. Empress Sarava yanked Elias onto the central dais amid a thunder of crystal chimes. Hollow envoys from a dozen rival houses flickered into view, their scaled faces twisted in obligatory smiles. The grand hall packed with nobles. Lady Nim's faction glaring from the front rows, forced to witness or forfeit trade rights. Elias scanned the crowd, thousands of eyes locked on him, the human who'd patched their fleets mid-breach. Sarava's grip tightened on his wrist, her scales warm against his skin. Speak your vows first, Elias Ward. Bind us. He nodded, pulse steady. No script prepared him for this. Empress, I offer partnership, not conquest. Whispers rippled. He raised his voice, but on human terms, mutual consent. Either party can exit, no penalty. Loyalty stays personal. Gasps echoed. Chancellor Vera Soren's beak clicked from her podium, precedent shattering. The human dilutes tradition. Sarava's eyes gleamed, violet slits narrowing. He strengthens it. Continue.
Admiral Corin Tall stepped forward, his armored bulk blocking Nim's glare.
Ward's pattern saved us. Test him fair. Lady Nime surged to her feet, robes swirling like spilled ink. Fair? This off-worlder mocks our blood rights. She slammed a gauntleted fist on the rail. By ancient code, I challenge his worth. Duel now, or he flees like prey. The hall froze. Hala envoys leaned in, feeds beaming empire-wide. Scripted humiliation. Nim's champion, the towering Rylak brute named Gorvith, lumbered forward, 2 meters of corded muscle, vibro-claws extended. Tradition demanded first blood or submission. Elias flexed his hands. No armor, just his reinforced jumpsuit and toolkit belt. Accepted. Non-lethal rules? Nim sneered. Imperial law, yield or die. Corin grunted approval, handing Elias a standard pulse blade. Light, balanced for alien grips. Gorvith charged, claws whistling. Elias sidestepped, blade parrying the first strike. Sparks flew, but he twisted, using the momentum to hook Gorvith's elbow. The brute roared, swinging wild. Elias ducked, rolled under the arc, and drove his shoulder into Gorvith's knee. Cartilage popped. Gorvith stumbled. Elias sprang up, blade flicking to disarm. One precise slice severed the claw lock's power feed. Claws powered down. Inert, Gorvith lunged again, fists hammering. Elias pivoted, grabbed the wrist and flipped him over his hip. The Rylak crashed to the stone. Wind knocked out. Elias pinned the arm, blade at the throat, non-piercing edge humming. Yield. Elias's voice cut clean. Gorvith snarled, then tapped the floor twice. Submission. The hall exploded. Shouts, stomps. Nim's face paled to ash gray. Impossible. No noble disarms Gorvith clean. Elias released him, offering a hand up. Gorvith clasped it, rumbling. Human edge. Precise. Mercy unexpected. Corin clapped Elias's shoulder. Law invoked. Challenger's life spared on perfect disarm. No blood spilled. Sarava rose, silencing the din. Elias proves loyalty through action. I accept his clause. She activated the central hollow orb imperial seal glowing. Vows amended. Consent mutual. Exit free. Alliance locked. Charter expands to all houses. Sign. Or secede. Soren's agents shifted uneasily. Nim slammed her podium, but envoys nodded. Holo signatures flooded in. Trade pacts auto-ratified. The marriage bound not just them, but the Empire's survival tech to Earth relays. Sarava pulled Elias close, her muzzle brushing his ear. Talons traced his jaw. You turned theater to steel. Partner. He met her gaze, warmth building in the link. Teamwork. Cheers drowned the rivals. Corin posted guards at Nime's Isle. She stormed out, flanked. Elias's pad vibrated again. Earth Intel update. Soren's off-world kin rallies purists. Assassins inbound. Ceremony cover. Sarava sensed his tension through the link. Her tail coiled around his leg. Shadows stir. We hunt them. A side door hissed. Corin drew his sidearm. Intruders. 3. Cloaked. Elias grabbed his toolkit. Vents above. Flush 'em. The hull's triumph cracked. Blades gleamed in the shadows. Sarava bared fangs. Protect the bond. Elias patched his scanner to the dais feed. Signals pinged. Hostiles converging. Got patterns. Corin, left flank. Sarava, cover envoys. Corin barreled left, barking orders. Sarava's guards formed a wedge around the hollow array. Elias sprinted to a console, fingers flying. He overrode the vent seals, venting stun gas laced with his custom yield agent, non-lethal, Empire safe. Cloaked figures dropped, convulsing. One hurled a knife at Sarava. Elias tackled her aside. Blade skittered off stone. They rolled, her body shielding his in turn. Clear? Corin cuffed the last. Interrogator drones hummed in. Soren approached, scanning IDs, her crest flattened. My kin's mark, traitors. Sarava stood, hauling Elias up. Purge them all. Elias's mercy clause spares no threat. Nim's absence hit Elias. She bolted. Cover exits. Corin nodded, on it. The envoys murmured approval. Humans didn't just fight, they anticipated. Sarava linked deeper, her pulse syncing his. Trust solidified, electric. But Soren's whisper to a guard lingered. Elias caught it. Contained the human's intel source. Alliance sealed, but knives sharpened. Sarava leaned in. Dance later? Private? Elias grinned. Lead. Drums resumed. Vows echoed anew. Shadows waited. Lady Nime's shuttle screamed from the pad, engines hot. Inside, she smashed a console. Sorn plays both. Activate Phase 2. Earthbait. Her agent nodded. Human's pad traces back. We take him. Fracture all. Nim's eyes burned. No alien weds a savior. Empire pure. Back in the hall, Elias felt the link hum. Sarava's resolve stealing his. They clasped hands as seals glowed final. Partnership forged. Purge began. His pad pinged final warning. Nim's fleet ghosts Admo Edge. Incoming. Sarava snarled. Together. Elias armed the defenses. Competence met crown. Empire trembled. Admiral Corental clamped a gauntleted hand on Elias's shoulder. Shuttle, now. Frontier Station's rations failed. Riots hit critical. Elias nodded, pocketing his pad as alarms wailed through the hall. Sarava's grip lingered on his arm. Go. Prove the bond holds edges too. Her eyes locked his, trust laced with command. Corin's shuttle punched from the palace dock, engines roaring past Nim's ghosting fleet. Elias scanned feeds. Station Epsilon. 7 spun at the Empire's rim. A bulbous habitat ringed by docks. Protests clogged the core levels. Skeletal aliens shoved at sealed vaults. Crests flared in fury. New government's first test. Corin growled, banking hard. Post-alliance. They smell weakness. Stampede starts. Elias pulled ration manifests. Imperial reserves sat locked. Emergency stocks from the crisis he'd fixed. Vault codes active? Corin eyed him. Sealed by my order. Yours now? Trust me. Elias patched his pad to the station's net. Drones hummed approval from the Admiral's console. Shuttle clamped to the dock amid shouts. Airlocks hissed open to chaos. Veyra's appointed governor ducked thrown crates. Security drones sparked under fire. Crowds surged. Workers, miners, families. Claws scraping alloy bulkheads. Elias pushed forward, Corin at his flank. Governor Lear, reserves open. Sequence ration by biometrics. The governor's frills quivered. Human, sealed by decree, override. Elias keyed the vault. Massive doors ground apart. Crates tumbled into loaders. Nutrient packs. Hydrogel. Protein slabs. The crowd froze. Scan crests, Elias barked. Priority, young, med vulnerable. 2 kilos per cycle. Drones in force queue. Drones whirred out, projecting hologrids. Aliens blinked, then shuffled into lines. No stampede. A youngling clutched a pack, crest relaxing. Murmurs shifted. He opens the Emperor's horde. Corin crossed arms. Logistics wizardry. Fleet drills failed this sim thrice. Elias waved it off. Just flow control. Humans queue for bad coffee daily. Governor Lear bowed low. Credit yours, Savior. Broadcast it. Elias handed the manifest pad back. Log it to your office. Empires win, not mine. Corin grunted approval. Humble cuts deeper than boasts. A shadow shuttle docked unannounced. Empress Sarava strode out, robes swirling, flanked by silent guards. She said nothing, just watched from the vault's edge as Elias tweaked drone paths, lines flowing smooth. Her gaze burned into him. Elias met it once. Pulse link hummed warm. She nodded, subtle. Governor Lear gaped. Empress, observe. Sarava's voice cut clean. She turned to Elias. You gift glory to them. Builds loyalty, Elias said. Mine's to the Empire. Her crest lifted fractionally. Claws brushed his wrist, private spark amid public eyes. Corin stiffened. Water recyclers nominal? Elias checked his pad. Anomalous chem signature pinged. Trace neurotoxin, binding to filters. No. Sabotage. Flush now. He slammed the override. Station klaxons blared. Pipes groaned as Elias routed purge cycles. Acid flush, then neutralizers. Water tanks drained to voids. Crowds murmuring. Source? Corin demanded, pistol drawn. Access logs. Sub-level vents. Elias traced the hack. NIM's cipher marks. Faint but human-trained eye caught them. They dropped to engineering decks. Saboteurs crouched by injectors. 3 techs, crests masked, sprayers and claws. Elias triggered mag cuffs from a wall panel. They dropped. Pinned. Corin hauled the leader up. Speak. Paid work. The tech hissed. Purity for Empire. Elias scanned IDs. Lady Nime's house seal glowed. Alive for trial. Proof over purge. Sarava materialized behind them. Eyes like blades. Wise. Vera will dissect this. Corin cuffed the rest. Interrogation bay. Drones inbound. The station stabilized. Crowds cheered as fresh water cycled pure. Elias wiped sweat, pad beeping clear. Sarava pulled him aside, into a dim corridor. Her hand cupped his jaw, firm, possessive. You see poisons I miss. Hand glory claim nothing. Why? Partnership, Elias said. Not power. Empire stands on trust, not my ego. Her laugh purred low, body pressing close. Scales warm against his skin. Humans, practical fire. Marry me, Elias warred. Desire strategy intertwined. He leaned in. If it holds the edge. Yes, alarms spiked anew. Corin's voice crackled. Chancellor's shuttle docking, urgent counsel. Nims confessed. Earthbait deployed. Your homeworld's marked, claws tightening. They touch Earth. We burn her houses. Elias armed his pad. Together. Logistics first. Corin burst in. Vera's testing you, human. Play her game? Station trembled. Shadows deepened. Sarava's claws slammed the throne days. High Council assemblies. Alliance charter. My marriage to Elias Ward. Vote now. No delays. Elias stood at her right flank, pulse steady. The throne room thrummed with tension. Holoscreens flickered above tiered seats. Vera's shuttle had docked minutes ago, dumping them straight into this chamber. Palace guards lined the walls, crests high. Lady Nim perched in the front row, her scales a venomous green, eyes locked on him. Chancellor Vera rose first, robes whispering. Empress, the human's feats merit reward. Station saved, poisons purged. I vote yes, alliance binds us. Admiral Corin Tall grunted from his seat, arms crossed. Results speak. Human blocked the breach. My fleets stand ready, yes. Murmurs rippled. Elias scanned his pad. Security feeds overlaid the crowd. Nin's retainers clustered near the side arches. Too many. Her tail twitched once. Sharp. Lady Nim shot to her feet. Madness. A soft-skinned outsider on the throne? He taints our blood. Empire falls to alien whims. I call tradition. Reject. Sarava's eyes narrowed. Tradition bends to survival, Nim. Vote recorded. 4 yes. 2 abstain. 3 guard surged. Nim's signal. A hissed command. 20 armored figures broke from the walls. Sprayers raised, charging the dais. For purity, one bellowed. Crowd screamed. Nobles scrambling. Elias's pad beeped. Routes mapped. Corin, now. He slapped the Admiral's comlink. Seal east arch. Mag barriers. West flank. Drone nets. No shots into crowds. Corin barked orders, his bulk moving like a battering ram. Fleets, lock it down. Drones whirred from ceiling vents, deploying sticky webs. Guards hit the barriers. First wave stuck mid-stride, weapons clattering. Elias darted left, overriding a panel. Energy field snapped up, funneling Nim's men into kill boxes. Non-lethal pulses dropped 3 more. He rolled under a wild sprayer blast, tasting ozone. Vera, your people, flank them. The Chancellor hesitated, then nodded. Her aides activated floor emitters. Thump-thump, Coop forces crumpled, cuffed by auto-restraints. Nim lunged for the dais steps, claws out. Corin intercepted, slamming her down. Endgame, traitor. Sarava didn't flinch. Her tail lashed once. Guards hauled Nim away, her shrieks echoing. Earthbait was mine. He brings doom. Silence crashed in. Nobles stared. Crests flattened in shock. Elias straightened, breath even. Pad confirmed. All threats contained. 0 civilian hits. Sarava turned to him, voice cutting the hush. She drew the Imperial Consort seal from her belt, a gleaming obsidian crest pulsing with royal code. Elias Ward, witnesses see. Take this seal. Marry me, yes or no. Speak plain. His heart kicked. Scales gleamed on her neck, warm from the fight's heat. Partnership, not power. He met her gaze. Yes, on conditions. Murmurs spiked. Vera leaned forward. Corin smirked. Sarava's brow ridge lifted. Name them. Shared governance. Human council seats at this table. Joint fleets. Your command, my logistics. Protections for both species. Earth marked. We shield it together. No solo plays. She held the seal out. Claws brushed his palm. Firm. Electric. Accepted. Seal binds us. He pressed his thumb to it. The crest flared, linking to his pulse implant. Cheers erupted, ragged but real. Corin clapped his shoulder. Practical.
I like it.
Vera approached, eyes calculating. Wise terms, human. Nim's confession. Earthbait deploys tomorrow. Probes inbound. Sarava snarled, pulling Elias close. Her body heat soaked through his suit. We intercept, together. Elias nodded. Pad already plotting vectors, but alarms wailed anew. Outer sensors. A shadow fleet blinked into view on the main hollow. Corin's voice hardened. Nim's allies, not hers alone. Incoming. Sarava's claws dug in. Throne holds. Elias, your plan? He grinned fierce. Shadows closed. The High Council chamber sealed behind them, but Elias felt the palace vibrate. Sarava's grip on his arm never slackened as they strode corridors lit by emergency strips. Corin flanked left, Vera right. Uneasy convoy. Probes launch from Nime's outer houses, Elias said, projecting holomaps from his pad. 3 vectors to Sol. We cut them at the relay. Sarava's tail curled around his waist possessively. My interceptors scramble. Your humans. Ready? Earth's warned. Militia fleets pivot, but we need your gravnets to snag the bait payloads. Corin grunted approval. Clever. Nets without killing probes. Disarm, not destroy. Proof for trials. Vera's scales shifted uneasy. Risky if payloads detonate. Won't. Elias cut in. I reroute them live. Seen it in disasters. They burst into the command nexus. Screens blazed. Enemy signatures swarming. Sarava vaulted to the throne console. Claws flying over controls. Fleets. Form the web. Elias synced his pad. Data flooded. Alien drives. Human hacks meshing seamless. Corin bellowed coordinates. Vera fed admin overrides. First probe snared. Elias's code burrowed in, flipping safeties. Payload ejected. Harmless drone husk. 2 down, Corin roared. Sarava leaned into Elias, breath hot on his neck. Your mind? Sinks like ours never could. He felt her pulse link thrum, desire laced with steel resolve. Hand slipped to his, squeezing, partnership sealed in fire. Last probe bucked the net. Elias traced its core. NIMS override code. Got it. He mag-cuffed the payload remotely. It tumbled inert. Cheers thundered. Screens cleared. Vera bowed slight. Alliance proven. Earth safe, for now. Sarava spun Elias to face her. Lips brushed his jaw. Scales rasping soft. Consort, we build from here. He pulled her closer, ignoring stares. Logistics first. Then us. Corin chuckled. Humans. Always practical. But Elias's pad pinged private. Encrypted burst from Earth. Alliance noted. But whispers in your court. Vera's play? Shadows lingered. Sarava led him to private quarters, doors hissing shut. No guards, just them. She shed her outer robes, scales catching light. Seal weighs heavy. Truth now. No council eyes. Elias set his pad down. Truth, I chose this. You, Empire needs bridges, not bosses. Her claws traced his chest. Peeling suit layers, warmth spread. Human's bare skin, vulnerable, yet unbreakable. He cupped her face, thumbs on jaw ridges. You lead wars, I fix breaks. Balance, she purred, pressing full against him. Lips met, fierce tasting of spice and command. Tongues tangled, alien textures sparking fire. Pulse link ignited, vision shared. Her strategies, his systems. Trust fused, they tumbled to the nest bed, bodies aligning. Her tail coiled his leg, possessive. He explored ridges, eliciting gasps. Claim it, she whispered. Partners, he growled, thrusting home. Claws raked light, pleasure crested. Mutual, shattering. After she nestled close. Nim broken. Vera watches, Corin binds. Elias stroked her crest. We watch back. Alarms flickered dim. Another shadow? He armed the pad. Ready. Dawn lit the Alliance signing. Throne room.